So you face more discrimination towards your own from your own people.
Yes, we have two muftis even in the small country. So one is from Tatars and one is from the Muslims. We actually have the problem of teenagers. There was stolen money, sadaqah box. Once they broke the window.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Welcome to Muslims in Europe. Assalamu alaikum, Fatima.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So, Fatima, I got in contact with you through a friend, and my friend told me that you're actually the head of the Masjid Council in Kaunas. So, can you tell
Not
us? Mhm.
I just would like to correct. I'm not the head, but I'm like active member. I'm Revert from the first Muslim generations of Lithuanian people. I could say like that when Lithuania got like freedom. So I'm active member in mosque, in Kaunas Muslim community. I was active member since when I was teenager,
Mhm.
and I had couple years break. Right now, from the last year, I came back into activities of Muslim community in Kaunas and sometimes in the whole Lithuania.
MashaAllah. So, how's the community in Lithuania? Are they united? Because it's not a very strong, or rather, what do you call, a big number of Muslims in Lithuania. So, how big is the community in Lithuania, and how strong are they?
It's been hard. It's very hard to say exact numbers because the most of community members we are students here,
Mm-hmm.
who are coming by working visas. We're like for 1 year, 2 year, and usually we are going from Lithuania back maybe to another Europe countries after the studies, or they are not staying here. So the locals ones, I could say 3,000, 5,000, around this amount. And especially in Kaunas, I could say in Kaunas city, there is only around 800,
Mm-hmm.
a lot. But during Juma on Fridays, it's coming from Muslims coming from another cities. So
Neighborhood, right?
sometimes, yeah, so sometimes can happen that like 1,000 and something, 1,500 people per Juma,
Alhamdulillah.
one Juma.
Alhamdulillah. And you have
Yeah.
one masjid in Kons. How do I pronounce your city name again?
Kaunas.
Kaunas.
Actually,
Okay.
we have four mosques in the whole Lithuania,
Mm-hmm.
but three of them we are in the villages, and we have much more smaller than Kaunas. Kaunas actually a small one mosque too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Lithuania from the Baltic countries, it's only one country where have the mosque.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. And this one is only one from the Brits. I'm sorry for my English.
No, 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 it's okay.
Um,
It's good enough, Alhamdulillah. So, can you tell us, so these masajids, are they connected with one organization, or are they just connected, they are loosely connected with, without a proper organization, but through Islam? So, how are they independent? Do they function independently?
so I could say the Islam history in Lithuania is very old. It's,
Mm-hmm.
because Lithuanian Muslims living in Lithuania more than 600 years. In past, we used to have 28 mosques. Um, Actually, Lithuania got smaller and were occupied, so the most of them were destroyed. And
By the
in
communists,
past,
by the
yeah,
communists, correct? Uh-huh.
yes, in past, in Lithuania, everyone thought that you are Muslim who living. Uh, in past government, not only government, but people used to mix the things that there is Tatar community and there is
Mm-hmm.
Muslim community.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we are mixing up. So, for example, if we telling that we need a bigger mosque, we need a place to pray, the
Mm-hmm.
Tatars, they have very big, strong power in Lithuania. They say that we don't need this. We have what is enough, and it's enough for us. But the Muslims, like in Vilnius, our capital, and in Kaunas, like where we are more open to all the nationalities, um, like no one, the government not listening to us actually when we're saying that we need it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Tatars, we have like strong power here, how to say,
And
based
why is there a dispute or a disagreement between the Muslims and the Tatars? Aren't Tatars also Muslims?
they are Muslims too, but how to say, maybe they are a little bit upset that how to say, the people um, trying to do everything by how would be good for everyone, for each Muslim, doesn't matter what's nationality. So maybe they are just it's the question of the power, like Allahu Alim, like, but this stuff, it is in Lithuania actually. So we have two muftis even in the small country. So one is from Tatars and one is from the Muslims.
Okay.
So yeah.
A
So it's
disunity
kind
sometimes,
of,
unfortunately, yeah.
yeah, unfortunately what it is. Yeah. And it's
Uh,
making some kind of difficulties here.
so does these when you said like you have about 12 masajids, are you including the Tatar mosques or you're saying because you said like it went from 28 to or 23 to 12, right?
No, we right now have only four mosques.
Okay.
So the only one is in Kaunas, where it's like everyone coming, like the physical mosques.
Mm-hmm.
And three of them we are in Tatars villages. Of course, in the capital we do not have the mosque at all. There is like prayer room,
Mm-hmm.
official one. There is I as I know, there is like not from the Muftiyat, two additional centers where people could pray. And of course, in one more city in Klaipeda, there is the same like prayer room, like apartment, but there is no exact mosque.
What is the population of Tatar
And
Muslims? Is it big or small? In
uh,
Lithuania, in Lithuania.
like they are, yes, they are big. Like to
So is
compare
it
them
bigger
here
than
is less
the
than Lithuania.
is it bigger than the what do you call foreign nationalities or is it like smaller than the
It's
foreign nationalities?
smaller.
Mm-hmm.
It's smaller.
Okay.
If to say that foreign, because they are smaller.
Okay. Although you're Lithuanian, you're not a foreigner, but you're just not a Tatar, correct?
Yes, I'm not
You're a
Tatar.
Lithuanian.
I'm fully Lithuanian. Yeah.
You're Lithuanian. So even despite them having a smaller population, they have the most power. The government
Yes.
hears there. So when you have fundings for the masajid or any, most of the time, the eastern side of Europe or central side of Europe, rather, the government does have some involvement with funding. So does it mostly fund Tatar communities or the uh, what do you call? You're self-funded. How does it work exactly?
Actually, about the funding in here, government not supporting any, like no Tatars, no like a general mosque. They are not supporting anything what's related Islam.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
So
kind of
independent funding.
yes. Even we are do not allowed to build a mosque in the capital. Uh,
Is it
and
because
it's
of
not.
is it because it's a secular country or something like that? You're not allowed to have?
I think it's allowed. You can practice any religion here freely, but I think that there's some kind of Islamophobia stuff. They do not want the migrants from the Muslim countries, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very strange because they are issuing a lot of visas and like really. So it's kind of why are you giving the visas? if you do not want to have like Muslims in your country. It's something very logical. It's not going through at all. And mm, what
So
else?
when you're issuing a lot of visas, is it like a lack of mm, what do you call infrastructure that you need people to build Lithuania? Is there a necessity for Lithuania to be built by immigrants?
Actually, yes, because the people they are not building here families. By year, like mm, like more people going to live abroad, like
Hmm.
Lithuanians, and of course, right now and with time, the older generation people are more than young. So that's why I believe they issuing a lot of visas in Lithuania. That maybe like another side of the topic, they would like that people would live here. As far as I know from like my another source,
Hmm.
that what I cannot mention, that like they see the goal of Lithuania that in here would live all the nations like friendly, like it was in past, like many years ago, and
Hmm.
that people would come and live here, would build the businesses here, and would stay here to live. But it's how to say, it's like two options, but you at the same time you cannot have mosque.
Exactly,
Yeah.
it's schizophrenic here. You want a multicultural old Lithuania because I know about the Commonwealth, Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth. It was a multicultural
Yes.
empire. On one side, you have that aspiration to bring back that, but at the same time, you also don't want multiculturalism. So there's kind of some kind of schizophrenia going on. Is it like in all political realms from the right and from the left, or is it like just whoever is ruling, because I don't know much about Lithuania. Who's the ruling party right now?
Actually, I cannot answer this exactly because I'm a little bit not so into politics stuff. I
Hmm.
just know a little bit that, and I know what like our main problems that about the mosque. So the most of like we're afraid, like how to say, we're afraid, but at the same time we would like that people would like we cannot forbid to it's just religion. It's nothing wrong with it. You just need to practice, and so it's kind of like even in our Kaunas mosque we have a course in process right now. Like actually they finished, but the 7 years we are in course regarding the land around the mosque, because in past that land was belonged to Muslim community, but right now government they do not want to give it back to us. So
Okay.
the people here praying outside during Jummah or Eid prayers, even it doesn't matter what kind of the weather. Sometimes we have two Jummahs, but still people cannot fit in. And in Vilnius, in capital, it's worse condition because we are praying everywhere.
Hmm.
It's kind of sad, but that's the situation here.
How's the political environment? You said you don't know, but like maybe from what you observe, like is it more um what do you call is it staunch Islamophobia or
It
like
is.
racism, Islamophobia?
It is. Actually, it feels because even right, like I saw that they have some news. They used the videos of our brothers who posted and filmed it in TikTok. Like in the some new reporters used all these videos to make a report about migrants in Lithuania, and say that um, they're taking an eye on everyone, and that there wouldn't be some extremists and etc. And there was they say that they sent back some people who had some connection with terrorists. Like I do not know this, but like it's what they claiming. So they are like We have some Islamophobia actually
And is it
from the
only at
West.
the top or also the normal people? Do you feel like the Islamophobia is also within the normal average Lithuanian?
So it's up of the situation actually, and up to the place. If you will go to the village, of course there will be, um, because they have no knowledge about anything at all. In cities, it's easier, but for example, mm, if you will, but it's easier only because of the students here.
Mm-hmm.
I really can compare her now and 10 years ago. 10 years ago, if you would walk with hijab, everyone would look like this. And it's just the basic stuff. Uh, and right now you can walk with hijab freely.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what's really changed? Like it was needed only like even not 10 years. In 5 years, I could say. In the last 5, 6 years, it's really changed because in the past it was very hard.
Okay.
And the people, for example, in some places right now, they are making easier to practice Deen. They giving like place where to pray. Um, they giving some time to come for Juma or some time to come to the mosque for Tarawih during Ramadan. So it's really up of the place. I had like the last time I had situation where I was how to say randomly attacked in the hospital, but it's not
Oh
like
wow.
attack, but it was like by words.
Okay,
Um,
verbal harassments.
yes, like random man. He said, "Are you promoting Islam or what?" I was just standing and reading the book. Of course, that was Islamic book, but anyway. And I said, "No, I'm just waiting for my turn to check my health. I'm not promoting anything." And like when we finding out that you are Lithuanian Revert, we are being more hard. So we
Mm-hmm.
are friendly more to not local ones. I mean, for foreigners, if they are Muslim, then like Lithuanian Muslims. So on Lithuanian Muslim, we are more hard than
Mm-hmm.
foreigners.
So you face more discrimination towards your own from your own people,
Yes, because you
unfortunately.
betrayed your culture, you betrayed your religion. Um, yeah, some of them, like especially if they talk about the women's, the most of thinking that it's because someone got married and etc. But I'm like my story is totally different.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Muslim since my teenager, so
Yeah,
like
you told me about it. Since when did you take interest in Islam?
it was very strange. I was going to church every Sunday. I was praying before meal. I was like, but there was a little bit difference between me and the other Christians. I thought that Isa alayhi salam, his prophet.
Okay.
I
Uh,
always felt like
isn't
that.
isn't it a Catholic, isn't Lithuania Catholic or is it like
Yes, we are Catholics. Yeah,
okay,
we are
mostly
Catholics. So
Catholic.
I was Catholic, and I prayed directly to the God.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pray to someone something what the others used to pray.
As a teenager.
Yes, and I never understood how we can do this because in my mind wasn't how people can pray to the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so and then I actually grew up in front of the mosque. Um, then I went to the camp with refugees, and
Mm-hmm.
I found out that we are praying, and the Islam is, I believe, like there is only one God, the Jesus, alayhi salam. He is not the son of the God, he's prophet, and all the other stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
everything just put it into place. And after I just said I want to be a Muslim, and so how I become.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. So you said you're an active member in the Masajid. Can you tell me what how things have improved and what are your goals? What are your ambitions for Kaunas? Kaunas, is that
Bonus.
the Kaunas? Yes. So what is your ambition for the Kaunas Muslims?
So the first thing, Alhamdulillah, the mosque right now is open to every prayer. The
Alhamdulillah.
people can find the mosque open it, and even for Fajr, what in past wasn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really, I'm very happy with it. We have school for kids, weekend Islamic school, where I'm teaching there too. And school year level, inshallah, if we will get our land back, inshallah, we have willings to build um, two additional buildings, at least in that land, and would have like normal, regular Islamic school, like daily school, but with Islamic values. Inshallah. But
Inshallah,
that's the
inshallah.
bigger plan, but like we hope so. And for now, we have very huge problem with the sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So this was the first year when I organized halakha for sisters, like Quran reading with Tajweed teacher, and not
Mm-hmm.
only Quran reading. Of course, there's a level like Islamic knowledge. It's not often, but it's happening, alhamdulillah, because the women's we are more close, we are staying at home, or like we are studying, and the only one thing what can unite is Islam and mosque. So alhamdulillah, we are using it. So I'm really, and we are really wishing and willing to have like it more often, and not only for women, for brothers too, because
Mm-hmm.
brothers, mashallah, we are very strong. Actually, they're coming to pray every salat in the mosque. So usually they are every day reading Quran from the Maghrib until Isha, so
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the round and reading it, or sometimes like all together, sometimes separate, but it's really mashallah. But our mosque is a little bit unique, because in here comes every fiqh, like every schooler, like any madhab in one
Mm-hmm.
mosque, even
Mm-hmm.
Shia coming to Sunni mosque.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the rare stuff. So we, I would like that it would stay like that, um, because anyway, like we
It's
believe
bringing
in.
unity to people together at one place. So
Yes, so
there's
that's what is really nice, and without any arguments, without any fights in the mosque, like
you have
everyone
a
doing
bigger
own stuff.
challenge. You have a bigger challenge that you need to be facing, which is like on top the Islamophobia, which is trying
Yes,
to what do you call pressure you
yes.
into not closing the mosques or disseminate, right?
Yeah, so we're trying to manage this mosque as much as possible in the best way by law. Uh, that and trying to keep it like safe for
Hmm.
the community members.
Has
That
has
wouldn't
has
be.
there ever been towards your mosque or any of the masajids within Lithuania? Has there been any attack,
There
whether that
was.
individually or politically motivated? So
It was
can you
individually. Mhm.
individual?
It was
Okay.
individually. There was like teenagers. We actually have the problem of teenagers, but it's very normal stuff because the mosque is located between three schools.
Okay.
Uh,
Nice. Okay.
so yes, it's so we have problem with teenagers. So even sometimes we are choosing to close the mosque between the prayers if
Hmm.
we see that there is possible, because the teenagers they are using drugs. There was one like once they broke the window Um, I'm not talking about calligraphy on the walls. Um, not calligraphy, but you know that the
Spray
paint.
paints. Yeah.
Yeah.
Graffiti.
Um, yeah, graffiti stuff. There was stolen money, sadaka box. Yeah. So it's happening. So sometimes
And has there been any
we keep
disciplinary action towards these kids? Because obviously you have a camera and stuff, so perhaps these
yes,
kids were caught. Were there any disciplinary actions by the school or anything, or not really?
and here's how to say only the parents are responsible for them. So like parents need to pay the fine and that's it. So there was and just replace the window stuff, but like
No
teenagers
proper
can do
disciplinary
whatever
action.
they
Like
want.
the police is not going to, you know, put them in disciplinary action or something, like community service or
Um,
something like that. No?
no, like they do, but it's not how to say until we are not 16 years old, we cannot do anything to them.
I'm not talking about prison. I'm talking about disciplinary action, which is like community service or something like that.
This no,
Not really.
no, only like the finance fine,
Okay.
but to the
And these are
parents.
kids who are under 16 who are attacking the mosque.
Yes.
Oh my God, this is this is some level of Islamophobia. So how about reaching out to these schools and like, giving a lecture on Islam or something? Is it allowed?
How to say, during the breaks they can go outside, but most of the problem when the lessons are finishing and in the park where the mosque is located,
Mm-hmm.
they love to come into groups, smoke, drink, and not only about the whole like school
No,
stuff.
I'm talking about the mosque going to the school and giving some
Mosque
lecture.
is so it's inshallah our future plan, but how to say, it's very hard because all this stuff doing just couple people. So for example, I do the tours in mosque. I imam, so like we together. There is one more sister too, but she's right now not available for it. So all the tours doing the most of like 99% tours in the mosque I'm doing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I do them.
So students
Alhamdulillah.
come
So
come to the mosque rather than you going to the
yes,
school. Okay. Okay. Okay.
yes. All the students coming to the mosque, and not only students, coming in old generation people. What is really nice. Some like we are accepting group like for 30 people,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes all the tours like around 1 hour. About this history in Islam, like in Lithuania, Islamic history in Lithuania. Um, and the whole Islam. And I'm always trying um, to teach them to how to say that they would understand that Muslims or who are claiming that they are Muslims is like the same in the practicing level
Mm-hmm.
as the Christians, how they practicing them religion, because that we would have understanding that not all everyone who's claiming that he is Muslim as
Mm-hmm.
Catholics or Christian stuff,
There are
because
levels. Yeah.
yeah, that we would have a little bit down understanding, because we are thinking that if you are Muslim, that means you are like practicing everything by Islam. So that's the biggest problem with all the people
Mm-hmm.
who are not Muslims, because they do not have this understanding, and they're claiming that Islam is how the Muslim ethnic Muslim acts.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my point where I have really wish
From
that
so
people
you wish
understand it.
with these tours you can, dismantle this kind of stereotypes or discrimination.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, and I'm always,
Inshallah.
they have some, like, I really remember there was a one girl from private school. She said, but while Saudi Arabia, like I saw the video, they were killing animals and etc. So I said, look, there is like this is not Islam. In Islam, you cannot kill nothing for a reason, without a
Right.
reason, I mean. And I said, there is the same Lithuanians were taking the kitties and throwing into the river. I said, it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm always trying through that perspective to take
Yeah.
that there's like human errors, human mistakes, human sins. And last week I had one question from the older people
Mm-hmm.
group. That's um um why are a lot of how to say criminals from the Muslim world,
Mm-hmm.
like why are
Why
many
is
terror if to say like
yeah.
terrorists, if to say
Yeah.
directly how it way
Why
up.
is always a Muslim a terrorist, right? Why it's always
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I explained that there is sick people who are like criminals. We are not those who practicing deen. We are not those who practicing Islam. I said as the same as like Lithuanians who are in prison, who doing robbery or stealing or selling drugs. So I'd say that it's the same. Just the
Mhm.
nationality and religion is the different names, but all the stuff is the same.
The bad character, the bad apples. So, I think I will ask you one last question would be, what are the challenges that you face as a community, towards Muslims within the Muslim community? What are the challenges that you face?
Government do not like to listen to us. Like if someone asking from, I'm sorry, regarding my internet,
No, no, it's okay.
um, uh, if asking from community side, because I had the situation where I asked from my personal name and they did it and they answered it to me that they will fix that problem. It's about the jumping space in front of the mosque
Mm-hmm.
for kids. I asked to repair it and we answered it and we fixed it. But when the mosque asked, they had no any answer. So
I'm not getting the point. My question is more like, what are the challenges with the community? Like, is like you said, there is unity, but maybe some challenges that you have with other Muslims, like maybe they're not.
it's hard to balance because there is
Mm-hmm.
many cultures, and
Maybe funding or something. I'm asking more from that perspective, like funding of
funding,
volunteers.
about the funding. So we have the problems with volunteers because everyone who coming into mosque, they are just praying and leaving. They thinking that mosque doing everything by themselves, but from nowhere. So we like the fundings. We are trying to collect the money like once per month for utility bills. Uh, but of course, sometimes it's not enough.
Mm-hmm.
And as government is not helping, uh, we if we need something more serious, we asking for Turkish embassy. So
Mm-hmm.
Tika or Turkish embassy actually helping here a lot. If we need something more like serious.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there is like uh more like problems that the brothers we are not like to listen to sisters if she is like
The network
because our
issue.
most main administration, she is the woman, and the
There
most
was a
of the
network
stuff
issue. Can
what
you
they're
repeat?
doing in the mosque. So I said that sometimes the brothers do not like to listen to women's because we are women's.
Okay.
So
They
like
don't
in
hear
our most
your
main administrator,
opinions.
she is woman. Yeah, they sometimes they do not like it.
Okay.
But like how to say, we do not have local men's and like by all the law like it's easier to be local
Mm-hmm.
um and what
But some,
else
so you said funding and volunteers. You need more volunteers, and this is So, because you said at the beginning, you're not only active within the mosque locally, but also all across Lithuania. So, is this a common problem all across? Funding is an issue, volunteers are an issue. Do you see that
Yes.
as a problem? And do you have any other things that you see that these can be solved? Like maybe I don't know. I'm not something. Nothing comes into my mind right now.
Actually, yes, but there is the point that everyone who are Muslim who living here sometimes would be much more easier that without asking they would do, and like how to say, they would come, I wanna do this and that. For example, I wanna clean around the mosque.
So there's no structure. Like
So
there is a lack of structure within the Muslim communities also. Like not just people, because people can volunteer here and there, but then you need a structure, don't you think? Like at the top, you
we
need
have it. We have it. But the problem is like we do not have a lot of active people who would do some stuff. So of course, always the cleaning the mosque, the same two or three people. So it's kind of how to say, we are happy with it, alhamdulillah, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not fair because some people like putting all this personal life into mosque, and I would like that everyone would put just a little bit, and
More.
it will be easier to live.
So on one end, you need funding. You said volunteers, and you said you have a structure. But is it like only in your city, but or do you say across Lithuania you have it's mostly just about because I understand like only some people are working and others are not contributing, but maybe a program where people are consistently coming so to help, to clean, to serve, to do as much as possible. Do you think maybe there if there is a program it would be helpful?
So there is the stuff that it is. We have structure. We have like me an administrator. We have active members, and we have regular members. So regular members, we they are those who just coming into mosque like daily, not daily, but all of everyone actually.
Mm-hmm.
We are like regular members. So we uh, uh like not only they, but those who are active, they are maybe taking something, some words from the regular members, listening into needs, and then like saying, okay, we need to have this and that. So, for example, how I did with the women's
Mm-hmm.
meeting, I said that it's needed to be here because for reasons. Um, but comes into the stuff, what is like, there is no problem with cleaning the carpets. Brothers, mashallah, we always do this. But when it comes to around area cleaning, like wood place or around the mosque, it's a little bit more complicated. Um,
Is it only regards to cleaning or other things as well?
it, uh, at first, I could say it's the cleaning stuff.
Mm.
The other things too, like, but they have, if they would want to, um,
So inshallah,
uh,
you can send this
always,
video to the brother community in Lithuania, and you can tell them,
you know,
guys, we have an issue.
we
Get a
have,
structure. Inshallah, it will help
they,
you with my channel as well.
they know it, because I'm like, they even kicked me out from the group of the brothers because
Okay.
I was so into into everything, take care about yourself, clean, like do not
Mm-hmm.
do this, do not do that, do this and that. But so anyway, I'm the woman,
I'm
and in the
sorry.
end, so
But inshallah, I
uh,
mean, if it's more public, then they can perhaps, I don't know. Yeah, I think
inshallah.
the
But
imam
like
has
most of,
to probably, yeah. Or else,
so
like
Imam,
we can look at the other communities judging the Lithuanian brothers. Guys, you're doing a terrible job. A woman is complaining. Our Muslim sisters are complaining. So we're judging you. Get your act together.
yeah,
Inshallah, we'll try to judge them.
Inshallah. Actually, about the help, we do not have like local imams. We do not
Mhm.
have them local ones.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the scholarly positions. Like, is there like enough
So,
tajweed? Yes, but maybe people have questions. People have questions to Imam, like basic things, like about halal meat. Can I eat this food or not? Can I wear a perfume or not? Do you have enough scholarly figures that people can ask questions to?
so we have Imam. Imam, he's from Turkey, and not only in Kaunas, in Vilnius and in Klaipėda too. We always asking help from the Turkey. Uh, since we do not have local ones with knowledge, who could have to give like to, to give answers to the questions or some solutions could make like official like nikah
But
stuff, for example.
but most of the time, isn't there a challenge between cultural differences? So even though you can have an imam coming from Turkey, understanding their local community is also important, right? So is there
I could say
mhm.
I could say the last imam right now what we have in Kaunas, if to talk about the Kaunas, he's mashallah. He's so he's like politic. He sees the person, like he understands what he needs, and he not telling nothing what
So
wouldn't go through.
there's emotional intelligence.
Yes.
Yes, that can be a factor, but don't you think like also somebody who understands the culture, the local culture is also necessary? So is there pruning or is there a program where you can um, ingrain knowledge in the upcoming generation? Are people, Lithuanian Muslims living in Vilnius or Kaunas, is there a structure where they can learn about Islamic fiqh or jurisprudence or anything so they can adapt to the local community, to
So
preach to their local community? Yeah.
yes, so like basically, there's a problem with this. Like for just separate questions, we always like sending to imam. If just to teach something, there's like active brothers who coming often into mosque. So like they are trustable people.
Mm-hmm.
So to brothers, like the men's that could teach, like I'm asking them directly to help. Or they sometimes I don't need to ask from them help.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they do it if they see that there is a person who coming into mosque and would like, for example, to accept Islam or to learn how to pray. So, mashallah, with this, like basic stuff, there is not a problem in the mosque. Um, regarding women's, so basically, I'm doing this stuff, but I have no knowledge, like no Islamic degree.
Mm-hmm.
So, and anyway, alhamdulillah,
With
I'm
whatever you
trying.
have, exactly. I mean, it's not just about non-Muslims, but we're talking about also Muslims. Muslims have questions, right? Is this permissible or not? Is this, can I give zakat to, I don't know, a foreign country, or can I give zakat to local community? These questions always lurk, or what
So
happens
this
in these
one
situations
going,
and stuff. Yeah.
mhm. So this kind of questions going to me, to mosque administrator, like basically how in the daily basics it is,
Mhm.
and to imam. The halal food, there's very
I'm
big
giving you an example.
problem.
I'm not saying exactly these questions. I'm saying, is there a
Yeah.
scholarly tradition where they are teaching more than this, more than just tajweed? Is there a group where people are learning about a little bit more about the jurisprudence, or also not really? There's no structure yet about that, right? So
Now,
inshallah,
for now,
maybe
no.
it's also a necessity,
Inshallah.
right? Inshallah, there's a necessity for
Yes,
there's room
I
for.
have. Yes, of course, I have this wish, but in Lithuania there is not that much Muslims right now.
Uh-huh.
I really would like to that people at least uh if to talk about the brothers, I already told last September that when I thought about the sisters, I said that we need to have, because I heard that some of them would like to learn Arabic. So I asked maybe would be possible. But anyway, all of the most of the brothers we are students here. So we do not have the time for this, like not
Exactly, yeah.
every time and etc. So like we
What
leave
about
it
young
like
people, like teenagers? Is there any kind of because teenagers generally have some time at least. Muslim teenagers, no?
we
There are
do
not
not
not many
have
families.
no, like they're coming like one, two, the mosque. Like there is not a lot of teenagers here, like
Mm-hmm. So
less.
not
We have only
much
my son
family.
who's coming to mosque uh, almost every day, but he's
Alhamdulillah.
a child.
Yeah, inshallah, inshallah, maybe may Allah help the community. And what about the Balkan or Central European? Are there collaborations, any programs that you guys do in the Balkan Muslim nations? Because it's a very small population in the not Balkan, Baltic. I'm sorry. Is there
Baltic.
any program, joint program, Muslim program within the Baltic region, like Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania? Small population, so it's much more easier to
So
organize anything, don't you
actually,
think? Yeah.
the most of stuff like it's being it's connected only one thing in Baltics, Umrah.
Mm-hmm.
Only one stuff what connects us.
Okay, Umrah.
It's Umrah. So all our stuff is totally separate, but only Umrah and only for those who are like not born Muslims.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you know, Saudi gives every year some free spaces to each country to make Umrah. So usually in past always organized Lithuania for all the Baltics. Last year was Latvia.
Mm-hmm. So you
This
take
year I do
turns.
not know who. Yeah, this year I do not know who. Uh, Actually, it's again fighting.
Yeah. So do
Like
you think do you think there is a need for the Central European Muslim countries to collaborate with some programs where there is a connection to get to know? Do you think that would help you or your community sharing knowledge or something like that?
of course it would help,
Mm-hmm.
but again, everyone trying to do own stuff. So that's the problem. I always say that until we will not be unite everyone, like
Mm-hmm.
we will always have some small issues. So
Yes.
small or big issues. So actually only one stuff what connecting it's Umrah. In past there was used to be some like lectures. Uh Actually right now online, mm, is it possible to have sometimes some lectures, but it's rare stuff. What would
Mm-hmm.
connect us, like as a Baltic countries?
Workshops and so yeah, inshallah. May Allah
Yeah,
help all of you. Inshallah.
inshallah. But actually, in Islam in Lithuania is poor. So in Latvia and Estonia, it's blessed. They do not have even one mosque. They have, uh, yeah,
And
they
the
have
population is almost similar, or it's even less in other countries?
less. In
Mhm,
Lithuania, it's not a lot of Muslims, but much more than in Latvia or Estonia.
mhm.
So, yeah.
So, inshallah, may Allah make it a prosperous place for the Muslims, inshallah. So,
Inshallah.
one last question would be: do you think Muslims should can come to Lithuania, not just to visit, but also to invest or to contribute? Do you think there's an opportunity to build
Actually,
masajids or anything like that?
I could say one thing that Lithuania as a country to live, it's very good choice because it's peaceful, it's safe. Okay, there is some kind of issues, but as long as you are good person, um, you are welcome here. Like
So there's not
because
much of discrimination,
really
right? Like just a little bit, not so much. Yeah.
just a little bit and only for from those who are how to say not educated or have health
Mhm.
issues
I mean, you have it
because
everywhere.
like
Even in
or
France, there are
older
5 million.
people.
The
Yeah,
five
so
five
that's
million
it,
Muslims
you
in
can
France, so you can compare that. Yeah.
yeah, so this kind of people you can meet everywhere, but in Lithuania is really like peaceful, calm. You can get your kid to go to the outside and you can forget about him that he's outside, but you will know that he will come back safe. Like it just come like it's you that's the stuff what you couldn't do in Germany or in France or in UK.
Yeah, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't know much about those regions, but yeah, I do relate. I can relate. So,
And
you think
and
there's an
actually
opportunity for Muslims to migrate to Lithuania?
yes, actually, there I could say like the most funniest thing is that Lithuania exporting so many halal meat
Yeah.
to every year.
Yes.
But we have the problems in the halal food in Lithuania.
I know. I know.
But but
The
but they
irony,
have
I know the irony because I was talking with Jan, the Slovak Muslim, and he was also telling me how most of the halal meat comes from what do you call Slovakia, but they have a lack. I mean, not necessarily them, but like I know that this region supplies more meat, halal meat, but they have a lack of halal meat themselves sometimes.
yes, yes.
Uh,
Like even is the most funniest thing is that one farm we have only halal chickens, but we are sending, like we are selling here without halal mark.
mhm.
Only to another countries we are selling with halal mark, but in here just regular
So
chicken.
there is a
And if
potential
you,
for somebody to do business of halal certification throughout this region.
yes, of course, and even for example, there's still like how to say in here in every like market like Maxima supermarket, I mean for the groceries, there is the vegan stuff part.
Hmm.
So and like I got an idea like why you cannot do like halal food
Certification, yeah.
section. You don't need like a lot of, but that's still stuff what you can have. Not maybe everywhere, but at least in the free in the main cities. And I'm talking about the Baltic countries that are like if Lithuania, of course, Vilnius, Kaunas, Klaipėda, like
Or
the
even
three
just a
biggest.
stamp. Or even just a stamp, like some city
Yeah,
behind them.
or in Latvia, in Riga, in Tallinn, in Estonia. So like that's kind of the
So
stuff what
there's opportunity for business, for living
there is.
peacefully. So there's opportunity for Muslims.
Yes, there is because actually even in Kaunas we have how to say we have only kebab, shawarma, halal. Like we do not have like normal food a lot.
Hmm.
There is already, but not
Very
a lot.
little, very few
Like
options.
yes, very little. And but at least right now we have because like
Alhamdulillah.
10 years ago we hadn't anything here.
I
So
remember that. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah,
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah for
it's changing a little bit, step by step.
inshallah, inshallah. So, Jazakallah khair for coming and giving us some insight about. Do you have any last advice for Muslims across Europe and also for Muslims in Lithuania particularly? Do you have any advice or anything?
So only one advice is that nothing comes from nothing. If you will not do anything, you will not have anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to put effort somewhere. And it's not like if you want to be active, if you want to maybe like even not want to be active, maybe just ask sisters or brothers, like maybe somehow I could be helpful for the community. And not only ask, just to be asked. Because
Mm-hmm.
there is many who are asking, how can I help you? But when you're saying some stuff, they are like, we are forgetting about the stuff
Mhm.
that we told or like etc. But it's nothing bad at it, but like we must build our future, and by being active uh, in the Muslim communities, you're keeping your values like your iman. It's easier to go away from a sins. It's easier to be on deen, and
Mhm.
the future and future generations, for them would be easier if you will keep your deen on.
And you put the effort,
So
inshallah.
that's it.
That's the sadaqah jariyah
Yes,
for the future generations, inshallah.
yes,
Inshallah.
inshallah.
So, Jazakallah khair for coming and giving your insights about
Thank you.
Lithuania and also your advice. Inshallah, we hope to unite across Europe and come together and
Inshallah.
help each other, inshallah. Barakallahu fiqh,
Inshallah.
Jazakallah khair, and
Thank
Assalamu alaikum.
you.